Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pop Spot, where we pop about all the spots we love in professional wrestling. I'm your host, Andre C. Joining me, as always, my boy AWS. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. Just as good as I was on the last episode, because kayfabe, we are 5 minutes later.
Back episodes this week. But this time, we're here to talk about the Canadian Wrestling Elite Anniversary Tour featuring WWE legend and former All Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown champion, Davey Boy Smith Jr., the British Bulldog. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, very excited. This was a great show. Had a lot of fun there last night. The Horde was in attendance. It was great. Got to meet Davey Boy Smith once again. After 9 years. I forgot to send you the pictures, but I took a picture that was the same as one that I took with him 9 years ago when he was IWGP tag champ. It was a great night. It was a great night. Before we begin though, I haven't done a soda review in a bit. So today I have this Pepsi Maple Cola that a couple of people that I know have been hyping up. So we're going to give it a shot, see how it is. Smells all right. I can smell the maple. No, that's not bad. It's definitely... Oh, there's the aftertaste.
Yeah, that's the part I really didn't like.
Yeah, the aftertaste is kind of weird, but it tastes like you're drinking a maple donut.
Yeah, but a maple donut dipped in Pepsi, so it kind of ruins it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's not awful. Like, it's not too much for me, but I just am not a huge cola guy in and of itself. So it's fine. Like, it's definitely a limited edition thing. So I don't even know if they're still selling these. But I mean, if you like maple, you're gonna like this. So check it out.
But if you want an actual good pop, the mango peach Canada Dry, very good.
That is a great Canada Dry. Yeah. Also tried that one on the show. Like I said to people in the past, if anyone has any soda you want me to try on the show, don't be afraid to give it to me. I can't guarantee I'll get to it immediately. This one's been waiting for a while, but definitely do send me some recommendations if you'd like.
Okay. So being that we're the Pop Spot, we're going to start popping about the spots we loved at the CWE Anniversary Tour, and we're going to kick it off. Where the hell is my button? There it is. I'm going to kick it off with our boy Lumberjack Larry Woods taking on the dastardly Ronnie Attitude to kick off the show.
I've never been so happy to see Larry.
So the first note I made in this match, Ronnie Attitude coming out and he's making everyone wet without their consent.
Yeah, no, it was. He does this every time. But my favorite part is I was sitting next to our good friend Mel Ball the whole show. And she's like, okay, if he does it to our side, I'm going to hide behind you. And I'm like, yeah, definitely do that. And of course he does it to our side. And I get a big bang of his friggin' water bottle right in the face and chest. And she did not get a single drop on her, which is great. So I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. We got a Larry's bald spot chant that I started going. Some good chain rest. What?
My favorite part about that chant is I don't think I've ever heard that chant like at an LPW show. But my favorite part about that is for the clapping, he slaps his bald spot. That's so funny.
Oh yeah, he's done it at LPW. We've done.
I may have just missed it, or I was in the bathroom.
That's where the chant started. Was at LPW?
I mean, it would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we kick it off. The good chain wrestling to start. Larry gets the scoop slam, but misses his tope atomico into the elbow. Ronnie gets Larry up and does that like a flapjack onto the ropes, stunning him. He gets Larry across the ropes, and he punts. Gives him the punt kick. Like he's across, like in the corner across two ropes, and he runs up and he kicks him in the gut. Larry drops Ronnie with a strike and eventually hit his tope atomico into the elbow drop. Ronnie fights back, gets Larry down, and he snot rockets him. Like, just, it was gross. Just disgusting.
Fucking gross. Yeah, disgusting.
Ronnie puts on the money clip, aka the $1 Million Dream, aka the Cobra Clutch. But Larry fights back, but Ronnie ends up hitting, like, as he's breaking out of it, he pulls him down into a backbreaker across the knee, then lifts up and, like, almost like an STO style sweeping slam to the mat. Looked really good.
Cool.
Larry fights back, though, and Ronnie goes for the springboard cross, but misses, and Larry starts hitting the running sledges, fires up, picks him up on the shoulders, hits a kamikaze for 2, which is or green blade plunge if you're nasty. Ronnie then he goes for the sideline. Ronnie slips out, and he hits the backbreaker over the knee for 2. Ronnie gets him up, goes for a move, but Larry gets out of it, grabs him by the arm, spins him out, saw line out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, and Lumberjack Larry Woods is your winner.
Very great,
Larry. I'm actually cheering for Larry. Holy man.
It was actually great to be able to cheer for Larry, like in a promotion where Rich has as far as I know, never been. So
he's been here. He's been here. Just he hasn't been here since the Brad breakup.
Yeah, which is fair. But yeah, no, getting to cheer for Larry is great because dropping all pretenses, I do really enjoy Larry's work.
Oh, me too.
He's a super fun and charismatic personality. It just sucks that every time he's at LPW, he has to be across the ring with Rich, who is just better. Unfortunately. Yeah, no, but this was a great match. Great way to open the show. I like how CWE tends to have Ronnie open the shows because they know that Ronnie is like a really like obviously hated person. And it's really good to just have a babyface come up and like step up to him every show and kind of show him how it is. And it's a fun pattern. I like patterns like that in wrestling, especially when they're not here all the time.
I agree. So we move on to our second match of the night. It is one half of the CWE Tag Team Champions, which does come up because we will have to grab that. Tag Team Champions changed hands a few days ago on the tour. One half of the Tag Team Champions, Robbie Royce, the pissed off Pitbull, taking on the Lion Warrior himself, Mr. Bobby Sharp.
Bobby versus Robbie.
Bobby versus Robbie. So Pitbull pulling Bobby's hair to get Sharp's hair to get out of the holes that Bobby's putting on him. Then you get into a good chain wrestling sequence. Sharp hits a back elbow off the second rope. Then Robbie. I guess I'm saying Robbie and Bobby because it gets messing me up. Pitbull comes back choking Bobby on the ropes, and he chokes him at center. He does that. Pitbull does that hard whip into the corner, and Sharp goes in, hits sternum first, just boom, and it looked absolutely brutal. Pitbull ends up crotching himself when he misses the Bronco Buster into the corner. Sharp fights back with lariats, hits a corner splash, and then follows up with the Bulldog out of the corner. He then hits the Michinoku driver, but Pitbull kicks out at 2.9. Nice. So Sharp goes to the top, but he gets crotched. Pitbull comes up, but Sharp fights him off, shoves him off the top, and he hits the frog splash off the top for the 1, the 2, and the 3. Bobby Sharp is your winner.
Shocking no one. This was expected, but Bobby is definitely a solid hand. His Michinoku driver is actually like one of my favorites in the scene. So him wrestling with Robbie, and because I know Robbie can actually do stuff. Like he was a former hardcore champion, but Robbie can actually wrestle as well, which is cool. And it's cool that he gets to like show off that talent as well. Congrats on him for winning the CWE tag titles with someone else that'll appear later on in the show.
Yeah. So we move on to what was originally a CWE Tag Team Championship match, but because the Double D's, the Digglers, lost the belts a few days back to Robbie Royce and the feature star, Davey Boy Smith Jr., this just became a standard tag team match. So we have the Goose and Kat Von Heez versus the Double D's, the Digglers, Derek and Danny. We get the meow, meow,
Meow,
meow.
meow,
I started that because Goose was getting everybody in a honk, and then I'm like, no, meow, meow, and I got the crowd to go with me on that for Cat. So we got the meows going instead of the honks.
Yeah, I'm actually super. Going into this match, this was going into the show. This was the match I was the most excited to see, and I know it's weird because of Davey Boy Smith. He's always great to see, but I have been seeing a bunch of clips of these guys, the Digglers, performing in Winnipeg and other areas. And they just seem to have a really strong charisma between them. And like their promo for the show, talking about how they were going to, beat Team Animal over here, Cat and Goose. It was a good promo. I was actually like really hyped up to see these guys. And, talking to them and watching them wrestle, I think my hype was justified. I was actually really happy to see these guys here, and they did great.
Yeah, I would rank these guys as maybe a low rent version of the former tag team Aqua Adventure, Jared Rogers and Alex Rain. It's kind of how I feel like they were a low rent version of the Aqua Adventure. In my humble opinion.
That's fair. And in Melball's humble opinion, she said that Danny and Derek Diggler are two separate versions of Cody Mack in his worst timeline, just by how they look.
So Goose gets in there eventually. He's hitting bionic wings to both of the Digglers, and he goes for his double underhook DDT to, I think it was Derek. That's was the one in pants. And he goes to do it, but he ends up pulling Derek's toupee off.
Yep. And the crowd lost it. It was hilarious.
It was so good. It was so good. Yeah. So Kat eventually gets in. She hits the stinger splash and the hip attacks to both to Derek or Danny Diggler in the corner. So Derek eventually distracts the ref as Derek distracts the ref. So Danny can hit lariat to Goose from the apron when Goose is back in, and Danny's the bald one, right?
Derek is the bald one. Danny is the one with the long hair. And
I don't know. I keep thinking each other is the other one.
It's a Bo and Blake Beverly situation.
Yeah. So they end up hitting this running knee into the corner, followed by a pendulum drop kick into the corner to Goose from the Digglers, and then Derek goes for the pin, and he only gets two, and he starts screaming like a goddamn banshee. Holy!
He's just screaming three at like such an unlistenable octave.
It
was brutal. Do this.
Yeah. It was rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
Goose. This is where I end up writing their names down, who they were: Bald, Derek, and Danny in shorts.
There you go.
Goose fights off more double teams, and he ends up getting the Flacco claw to Danny, but then gets attacked by Derek. Derek goes for the claw does his own mandible claw to Goose, but ends up doing it to Danny. And then they're like, "Oh my god!" And then Kat gets tagged in. She runs in just as they break the claw. She hits this huge lariat to both guys. She does her combination kicks and punches to Danny, hits the Samoan drop, picks him up, Angel's wings, like dropping him almost on his head. Look brutal. But Derek ends up coming in to break the pin. This is where Goose comes in, fights with Derek. They end up fighting to the floor. But then as the ref's kind of distracted, Danny gets, I think it was a turnbuckle.
Yeah, it was like a turnbuckle hook thing.
Yeah, and hits Kat with it, tosses it out. 1, 2, 3, and the Digglers win the match. So Goose gets back and he starts checking on Kat, and this is when one Mr. Bobbert Sharp makes his return to the ring, and he starts shoving Goose. Tell him to get away from his wife. It's his wife. He'll take care of her. And the Goose and Bobby are fighting back, pushing each other back and forth. Kat gets in the middle. She kind of gets shoved or something by Bobby, like not, I don't think like on purpose.
Yeah, like by accident.
Yeah, she got kind of shoved by Bobby there. And so she's looking really unhappy about that and just gets off and leaves.
Which is, I think, completely fair. Continuing this story that CWE does with how do Bobby and Kat coexist? They've been doing it for a while now. And, I mean, it works. It gets a reaction every time, so I can't really complain. This match was great. I was really happy to see the Double Ds, and they met all of my expectations. And, yeah, no, like, always great to see Goose, always great to see Kat. And they put together a really fun contest with a lot of unexpected spots. Again, the toupee thing might be my favorite spot on this whole show, honestly, just because it was so unexpected.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Absolutely tremendously loved it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, without any further ado, we're going to move on to your feature match of the night. It is the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith Jr. taking on the headline, Shaun Martens. We are very familiar with the headline, Shaun Martens.
Very familiar.
So Davey goes for the handshake. Shaun goes in, but then does early in the match, or sort of the start of the match. So they start to wrestle, and then Shaun puts out the hand for the handshake, and Davey goes in, but then he goes right back at him just to mess with him.
He was great.
Yeah. There's a child behind us.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, I didn't think you were going to talk about this.
Oh no way! The child starts hissing at Shaun Martens. I don't know if it was at Shaun or if it was at Davey. Maybe it was at Davey because it's a cat hissing at a dog.
I feel like it was at Davey because every time Davey had the upper hand, this kid started hissing.
Yeah, I was very confused by this, but it happened. So Davey gets in control, starts working multiple submission holds, trying to wear Shaun Martens down. And then as he's doing all this, he's working him over the strikes. Shaun just going, And I was laughing so hard at the sounds that were coming out of one headline, Shaun Martens.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was hilarious, the sounds he was making.
It was very funny.
Davey gets him in the corner, stomping a mud hole in him, and walks it dry. Shaun eventually fights back by chop blocking the leg, slides to the outside, pulls Davey to the corner, runs the knee into the post, and starts working over the knee. Davey eventually does fight back. Martens into working the leg and does that thing where he grabs the leg, then he flips over the guy and pulls him up real hard.
Like the rolling leg wrench thing. I was I do. That's such a cool way to work the leg. I love whenever that happens.
So Martens continues to work the knee out, but Davey ends up kind of going to his amateur background and his MMA training, and gets Martens into the cross arm breaker. He's working to get it just as he's about to get the cross arm breaker on. Martens attacks the knee of one Davey Boy, and Davey Boy is forced to break the hold. Davey does come back with a big ensiguri. He hits a bunch of punches and the big lariat, follows with the suplex for 2. Does get a sidewalk slam for 2. But Martens comes back and backslides Davey for 2. Big old sunset flip by Martens, and then they do the pin trading, and then Davey just gets a pinfall out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, and it was over.
Yeah, it was a surprise. It was a nice little surprise roll up. It was a good little callback to his dad at SummerSlam '92. I think it was a really nice little callback to that, and I was very happy with this match. The win came out of nowhere, which is understandable. I think Davey is such a strong competitor. You mentioned his MMA background, and he was like half a second away from getting that cross arm breaker in and absolutely making Shaun tap out. So that was this entire match was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. So we got a little interview after the show with one Davey Boy Smith Jr. So we're going to go to that interview right now. At the CWE anniversary tour, right here with the legend himself, Davey Boy Smith Jr., the British Bulldog. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Live and live and live in color right here in Edmonton.
Yeah, glad to have you coming back to Edmonton. Thanks. First time I've seen you here since 2017. I got to see you years ago with RCW. Glad to see you back in town with the CWE tour. How's it been doing the tour, getting to experience this? Like, how does it feel to kind of feel like an old school territory style travel?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. It's been a great experience so far. You know, traveling around the prairies from Winnipeg to Alberta now, and I haven't wrestled or performed in Edmonton here in, be close to 10 years. So it's great to be back here in Edmonton, and I think that the CWE 17th anniversary has been a great tour because 16 days on the road, every single day, traveling, you know, bad weather conditions, even if it's snowing, giving the guys kind of that everyday, on the go kind of work experience where they can really improve each night. And every night's not going to be perfect, but every night they can learn something. And I think that the learning experience, especially now that the territories aren't necessarily around or prevalent, but CWA having 16 days in a row is a great learning experience for everybody. So I think that Danny's done a great job. And, you know, it's been some cold roads, but I'm used to that. And it's great being back in Alberta.
Yeah, how does it compare to you were recently those last couple years working with All Japan Pro Wrestling?
Well, it's a lot colder here.
Yeah, how does it compare to I know they do a touring style there.
Yeah.
How does it compare to that?
Well, All Japan, you know, we go pretty pretty steady, 3-4 days a week. You know, usually on tour. You know, back in the day it was like 5 or 6 with long travel days. And, you know, they've loosened the schedule up a little bit. But again, sometimes the wrestling matches, since a lot of them are for TV, it's going to be, you know, hard-hitting. And, you know, a lot of the wrestling here locally for, you know, in Alberta, it's more of an entertainment based in North America. Not that that's a bad thing. It's certainly easier on the body, but All Japan's wrestling styles maybe a little bit more hard-hitting, but both are different. But, you know, the traveling's similar. You're in a bus. And when I won the Triple Crown title, we did 11 shows in 12 days.
Oh, dang.
Every day traveling, and they were hard matches. And it was October in North Japan, which is really cold, like here.
Yeah.
So it's similar to this, yeah.
Well,
similar but different, you know.
Yeah. So thank you so very much for your time. We appreciate you. You can check out Davey Boy Smith on the rest of the CWE Anniversary Tour. Go to cwecanada.ca to get your tickets for more shows. I know there's a few more dates coming in the next few days. You're going to want to check us out, man. He's a great professional wrestler.
That's right. And me and Robbie Royce, we're the current CWE Tag Team Champions, reigning and defending. Come check us out at any of these CWE live events, and you can check us out online, cwe.canada, at DB Smith Jr. And if you don't got it, get it. If you don't get it, figure it out. All right.
Nice. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun to chat with him and just get a feeling on how he feels about doing the tours and his little time, like how it compares to working in Japan. And again, I guess fairly similar to when he was working in WWE because they were on the road 4 or 5 days a week. And it'd be very similar, kind of similar feeling there too. So yeah, it was just fun really to talk to him and get to know him a bit more about what he's doing.
Very cool of him to give us his time. It was very, very cool.
Yeah.
To film that.
100% it was. Yeah. So after we went to intermission after this match, and then we came back with a grudge match featuring our boy Crude Oil Cody Mack, the shirt that my boy AWS is wearing right now. So Danny comes out to his very incredibly long entrance that he.
I feel like it gets longer every time he comes back.
Not really. It's the same length of music every time, but it just feels long every time. So yeah, he comes out. He says some stuff about 2025 was America dominating, and 2026 to be the same. USA on top. Sadly, he's had one correct thing there with America. Well, twice with America beating Canada twice in hockey this past week in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Very, very sad. But then Cody comes out and he says Canadians don't hate people for where they're from. I agree with that.
Accurate.
For most of us, it's accurate. But Cody says it's time for togetherness and it's time to work together. And he says, I will pledge to you. And he shakes his hand. But I pledge to shove that flag up your ass. And,
yes.
And he starts beating the crap out of one Danny Duggan here.
Very good.
Danny ends up dropping Cody, goes for a senton, but he misses, and they start fighting to the outside. They fight back and forth, and they're just fighting all around. Danny ends up kind of taking over, beats up Cody on the outside. They fight back into the ring. He hits an elbow drop for 2. Mm-hmm. Danny starts in with the hard whips into the corner. He gets him into a sleeper, but Cody fights back. But then Danny hits a big boot to the gut and continues the beat down. Cody starts fighting back, but gets hit in the corner. Danny gets a big lariat for 2, then puts on another sleeper hold, but Cody eventually does fight back, but he then hit with a jumping lariat bouncing off the ropes by Danny Duggan. Cody trying to fight back, but another sleeper is applied by Danny Duggan, but Cody eventually fights back after the 2 arm drops, fires up like the Ultimate Warrior.
I wrote that down, the Ultimate Warrior. I was like, that is perfect. It was such a good comeback as well. Yeah.
He drops Danny with strikes and hits the spinning scoop slam, hits a stinger splash in the corner, hits the pump kick for 2. Danny decides to push the ref almost gets hit, but then Danny shoves Cody into the ref, taking the ref down. And then this is where Danny kicks Cody low, but as the ref recovers 1, 2, but Cody Mack kicks out. He stays alive in the match. So Danny gets his American flag, goes to hit him with it, but Cody ducks, grabs the flag from him. The ref is yelling, "Stop it, stop it!" And Cody smacks Danny. Danny turns around and he shoves the flag right up into his bum. And this is where the ref promise. Yeah, ref calls for the bell, and he disqualifies both men in this match because Danny introduced the flag, Cody used it, so he threw this match out. It's a double disqualification. And then after the match, Danny goes to the outside, gets the wrench of one Cody Mack and hits Cody with the wrench, and leaves him laying, and he goes to the back.
But wait, Cody gets on the mic and continues to cut a promo, specifically about how he's sick of Danny ducking the ass beating that he deserves every single time and running away like the snake he is. I can agree with most of that. And he says it and he calls it out. May 10th, the next show for the Rage in the Cage tour, Edmonton stop. It will be Cody Mack versus Danny Duggan in a steel cage. Let's go.
Let's go. That's gonna be great. Rage in the Cage. We're coming back in May. We're gonna see these two go at it one more time in that cage. The only way you're gonna this is Danny's match to win because he's always escaping and running away. And that's how you win one of these matches, is by escaping and running away.
Yeah. So may have been a bad decision on Cody's part, but
he gets to keep him contained at least into the ring for the most part.
Contained. He won't run away immediately.
And there's no disqualifications in this one too. So he can hit him with a flag, he can hit him with the wrench, he can do what he wants, and he can beat the holy hell out of one Danny Duggan in this upcoming match.
Exactly.
I'm hoping so. So we moved on to our main event of the evening, but according to this graphic, it is wrong. Flip that title to the other guy because a couple days back, before the show happened, Medicine had one Kamikaze pinned one Chad Daniels to win the CWE championship. So does Kamikaze defending his CWE championship against one chiseled Chad Daniels in this match. Quick note, the day before this show, they were in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Mm-hmm. And towards the end of the match, Cam Ross got hit inadvertently and was taken out. And a fan decided to enter the ring, but he didn't attack anybody. He didn't do anything. He just got in and was ready for the count. And Kamikaze realized it, pulled Chad Daniels over, grabbed him. The fan counted 1, 2, and 3, and they celebrated the win, but the match ended up being thrown out as a draw due to the not technically being finished by a ref. But a very interesting thing. But to any fan out there, please do not run into the ring. It's just shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. It did make a great moment for that fan in that one instance, and he didn't actually attack anyone, which was really like the best case scenario. But just to be safe, do not enter the ring or interact or try to hit the performers or anything crazy. It's not going to go well. Yeah, absolutely true. But again, just great on them for Cam realizing that's all the kid wanted to do is just count a pin and giving him that sim. But just please, in the future, for everybody out there, do not do things like that, because it's not what we want, because some people can get hurt. If you're not in there doing the right things, you can get hurt. But that being said, we get into the match. Chad kind of being cowardly early on throughout this match. Like it holds and then just running to the ropes to get away from Cam. Cam hits a big shoulder block, goes for the cartwheel to hit into the drop kick, but Chad scurries out of the ring to avoid that drop kick again, running away scared. Mm-hmm. They start getting the ring, and they do that the crisscross spot where they're running in like opposite directions, and then Cam does the drop down into the leapfrog and hits the arm drag, hits the drop kick, and then follows it up with monkey flipping Chad out of the corner. Looked really good. A great combination.
Chad catches the legs on a drop kick, slams him, and then slingshots Kamikaze over the top rope. But Cam holds on, skins the cat, pulls himself back up, and grabs Chad with the head scissors, sending Chad to the floor, flips himself back in the ring, and then hits a plancha over the ropes to the floor. Really good spot. I really
very
like
great
that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta scroll down on my notes. Chad ends up shoving Cam off the top to the floor at one point, but Cam does make it back in at 8. Chad picks them up, hits a swing out rock bottom, or swing out Uranagi for 2. Chad starts pulling the braids of Kamikaze and hits him with a neck breaker for 2. Lots of back and forth stuff here. Cam fights back. It's a moonsault off the second rope for 2. Kamikaze getting a sunset flip over the ropes into the ring for 1. Then a backslide for 1, but Chad comes back with the big drop kick, and then doesn't go to the pin, goes for the push-ups.
Yep, that you could have won the championship there, Chad.
You could have got your belt back, but goes for the push-ups and then goes for the pin. So it's delayed. Cam's recovered, so he only gets 2. Yep. Big running double cross, and they run into each other at center ring, both going for the crossbody. That bam!
Great,
Looked
I love
really
that.
Good. Both guys are down. Cam ends up fighting back. Hits a big back body drop. Cam hits the high cross off the top, but he only gets 2. Cam goes for another crossbody off the top, but hits Cam Ross, the referee, by accident, and Chad takes advantage, starts beating him up. Cam fights back, hits a huge Michinoku driver, but the ref is still down. Chad fights back, attacks Cam. Eventually, Chad ends up waking up the referee after he hit a big old move, but the Kamikaze kicks out at 2.99947.
It's accurate count, but this is the moment where Chad actually goes into his trunks and pulls out a pair of knucks.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. Clocks Cam in the head with the brass knuckles, drops them back into his trunks, and goes for the pin, but he still can't keep Kamikaze down. The count was accurate.
Yeah. Cam does fight back, hits a drop kick, sending Chad into the ropes. Then Chad goes down, and Cam goes to the he sends him into the rope. Cam hits the 403. 619, as we call it, the 403, because the man's from Medicine Hat. He goes up to the top, over Castle from the top for the 1, the 2, and the 3 for the win and the winner. And still your CWE champion, Kamikaze.
That was a great match as well. There was a lot of great stuff on this show. And this was a perfect way to end it with Cam on top. The crowd loved it. Everyone enjoyed the match. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun.
So,
yeah.
Before we move on to our match tonight, we've got a little bit of a special edition here. As you had my interview with Davey Boy Smith Jr., we have AWS's interview at post show with the CWE champion, Kamikaze. So we're going to be going to that in just a second here. Just got to pull it up. Here we go.
It's your boy AWS here at the Edmonton CWE 17th Anniversary Tour. And I'm here with my CW and Andre's CWE Wrestler of the Year, current CWE champion, Kamikaze. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, buddy, we just had one hard-fought match against a hell of a competitor, chiseled Chad Daniels. But with all the swerves like a snake that he has, I got the best of him. He knocked me right in the head with those brass knuckles. I thought he had me, but by the grace of God and you great people cheering me, giving me that electricity, I kicked out and I took care of the job. 1, 2, 3. Still champion.
Absolutely. Let's talk about how you won that championship. You won it in your hometown of Medicine Hat, Alberta. How does that feel to be able to finally get that monkey off of your back, to get the title in front of your hometown people?
You know, it was definitely a monkey on my back just weighing me down. Chad just had more swerves than a snake, like I said before. All the tricks, all the chicanery. But you know what? In my hometown, in front of my friends, my family, all the great people of Medicine Hat, Alberta, my hometown, Medicine Hat is where it's at, Jack. And we did it. And Davey Boy Smith and Cody Mack hold me up on their shoulders high. The whole locker room congratulated me. It was a dream come true, man. It was a dream come true.
It seemed like that on the footage, absolutely.
Surreal.
So, you're still on this tour. What are the plans for Kamikaze holding this belt? You thinking trying to hold this as long as you can?
Well, absolutely. No, I'm taking all challengers, any and all comers. Come and get some. You're hungry? Forget your manners. Come and get it. Because I'm ready to take you all out and chew you up and spit you out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to check this guy out. We've got the CWE tour. You can grab their tickets at CWEcanada.ca and CWEtickets.com. They got a few more dates left on this tour, and they tour all across Canada, all throughout the year. Any last words to say to the fans?
The champ is here! Woo!
I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. The only watching myself do stuff, my only real problem is that third question was so stupid. Oh, do you want to hold this title as long as you can? Oh my God.
It was so good because he gave him the setup to no, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go everywhere and get every challenger. Yes, he's going to hold that file because he wants to take on every challenger for the rest of this tour and on from there. Hopefully he's still champion when they come back to Edmonton in May. Hopefully. Fingers crossed for that. But with that being said, it's time for a match of the night. My friend, what is your match of the night?
This was another one like how at the top show where I had a lot of options. But again, I think I'm going to go with the dark horse pick here. I'm going to pick the Double D's versus Kat Von Heez and the Canadian Goose. It had a lot of fun moments, a lot of great spots. The debut of two guys that I have wanted to see in this town for a long time. And they met and exceeded all of my expectations. It was really great to see you guys perform for the first time. And again, it's always great to see Kat. It's always great to see Goose. They're super charismatic. They work incredibly well together. And all four of these guys put on probably one of the best tag team matches I've seen this month, just in general. Very happy with it. Very much enjoyed it. Andre C., I have a pretty good feeling what your match of the night is, but please tell us, what is your match of the night?
It's the opening match tonight. Lumberjack Larry Woods
Whoa!
versus Ronnie Attitude. We got to cheer for one Lumberjack Larry Woods. I had to give it up for a boy Lumberjack Larry Woods because I usually boo this man, but I got to cheer for him tonight, so I got to give it to him. My match of the night going Lumberjack Larry Woods getting that victory out of nowhere off of Ronnie Attitude. Absolutely loved it. I love Ronnie Attitude as a heel. I think he's so good. He's so charismatic. I think he's one of the best heels going in independent wrestling right now because he's not one of the cool heels that people like, yeah, let's get behind the cool heel. No, he's just a person that we all think sucks, and we just want to hate this man. We want to see him get his ass kicked. And Larry Woods was the one that came out that night, kicked his ass, and made it look great. And I'm giving it up to Lumberjack Larry Woods versus Ronnie. Baby.
I am in shock.
That main event was right behind it, but I just got to see Larry Woods kick Ronnie Attitude's ass was just a highlight for me on this show.
Yeah, no, wow, that's so good. Congratulations, Larry. This might be the only time you get match of the night.
If he has a classic with Rich King, he could win one.
Yeah, but then that's more him.
Although I know who he's facing it next week. We know who he's facing. He's facing one Christian Star at LPW.
Oh, that actually
could end up being our match of the night on the LPW show because that match is going to be
absolutely can. We'll see how it goes.
So yeah, okay.
That is the end.
That is the end of it. But we have come to the end of another episode of the Pop Spot for CWE's anniversary tour featuring the legend, Davey Boy Smith Jr. But before we get out of here, we got to ask, where can they find you, Mr. AWS?
I appreciate it. You can find me on the Blue Sky at awscomedy.bluesky.social. You can find me on the Instagrams at awscomedyeg. That's where I promote all of my shows that I'm in, my stand-up shows, my improv shows, anything that I'm doing. You'll see me promoted on there. And if you want to watch me and my buddy Andreas and my best friend Malcolm shoot the crap about Power Rangers and review and recap episodes, you can find the Morphomania podcast at youtube.com/@HumanoidFreak2515. Like I said in the last episode, we've dropped the best of. If you're still watching it, I'm sorry, but it is a 3.5-hour monster of all of the highlights from the 60 episodes of season 1. Season 2 is coming. I swear. I don't know exactly when, but it should be sometime in the next month. Lord Zed will debut, and everyone will rejoice because Lord Zed is the best villain in the series. And I want to give a quick shout out to my boys at the Grindstone Theater, one of my favorite places in Edmonton. It is a subsidized theater space where you can check out new and emerging artists of all kinds, stand-up, improv, burlesque, drag, all types of artistry there. You can find all their tickets. You didn't switch the banner over.
Oh, sorry. I apologize, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
can find all their tickets at thegrindstonetheater.ca. They have a calendar function. They get all their tickets through ShowPass. My recommendation for this episode is coming up on this Saturday. We have Agent Thunder, an improvised espionage show. I saw this show at Fringe. I loved it. It's produced by my friends at Sorry Not Sorry Improv. The people that run this show, it's always a lot of fun, and it's got all of the spy tropes you really want. And I think this is one that even Andre would really enjoy because he's been watching some James Bond movies in his free time.
Yeah, and I actually a big fan of Sorry Not Sorry Productions. I used to go to see them before pre-pandemic. They were working. There was a local improviser named David Ray that was with them. I know he's friends with the guys. He still appears with them once in a blue moon. But I used to go because I knew the gentleman, so I used to go see his shows with Sorry Not Sorry all the time. Absolutely tremendous group. And I've seen them since then too. Absolutely completely amazing team over there at Sorry Not Sorry.
So you can check out that show on Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. at the Grindstone Theater. Tickets are on sale now. You can check that out at grindstonetheater.ca. You can find it there. And yeah, there's tons of awesome shows that play at the Grindstone. Definitely go check them out. Highly recommend. That's enough out of me. Andre C., where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me on the X and Blue Sky at That Canada Guy, Instagram and Threads at That Canada Dude. Go over to my Instagram because both of those interviews are over there on Instagram. If you want to watch them, they're up there, loaded up as reels on my Instagram. Also, they'll be on Davey Boy Smith Jr. If the one with it is also on his because he's collaborated with us with CWE. Kamikazes are on his. I know AWS has collaborated to them too, so they're on his Instagrams too. So check them out. You can check out all those over there. See if you want to see those replayed, or you can go if you want the Davey Boy Smith interview on YouTube. You can see it right here on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel. I got that one loaded up on here. Lots of great stuff coming. here and lots of great stuff to show. But you can also find me over at our local establishment where I do the show, the Point of View, every Sunday with my boy Bobby Munson. And check me out over there. We talk sports, we talk everything. This upcoming Sunday, I'm going to be doing my F1 preview because that season starts on technically on March 8th, but it'll be March 7th for myself when I'll be watching that first race because it'll be happening in Australia and it's happening late night for me on Saturday night. So I'll be doing a full F1 preview this coming Sunday on the on March 1st. I will be doing a F1 preview just to kind of get everybody ready for the F1 races and so much more great sports stuff we're going to be talking about there. More footy talk, more everything. So come check us out over on our local establishment every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You could also find me right here on Backbreaker Video, where I do the possible with my boy here, and then all the other great wrestling content that you have right here on Backbreaker Video. You can also see lots of great live content from Mike the Ref over at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. All his AEW watch-alongs every Wednesday, Saturday, and when there's pay-per-views on Saturday, it also does watch-alongs on Thursdays, so you can check those out. You can also check out after the show on Wednesdays the Backbreaker Pro Wrestling in the WWE 2K25 game. We got the Federation going on over there. Myself and AWS just debuted this past week in as the Pop Spot Monsters. So you can check us out on there. And then I will be in the title tournament in 2 weeks. I'll be over there in the title tournament taking on one Hoju, our good buddy Hoju over there. So check that out. Yeah, so you can check that out after every edition of the AEW Dynamite there on Backbreaker Video. And then gonna give one more big and then you can check all the replays of all that gaming content youtube.com/backbreaker_gaming. And one big shout out to our friends over at CWE Canada.ca for all the information on all the shows they have. And if you want to buy tickets to this tour or any other show they do, go to CWEtickets.com and you can get all the tickets you need for all the great shows that they do.
Next show for CWE is May 10th for Edmonton. If you want to check it out in Edmonton, do come check it out.
Rage in the Cage.
Can I get a pop for that?
Pop, pop.
Pop. Pop. That brings us to the end of another rip-roaring edition of Pop Spot featuring CWE. This has been Andre C. I have been AWS. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe to Backbreaker Video because you know your boys at the Pop Spot deserve it. And until next time, stay poppin'. Bye-bye.